Hey guys, welcome back to the second episode of WoW Talks. This is the podcasty type video where we have a lot of discussion on World of Warcraft topics based on your input and your comments. So last video, we launched off the topic from which you guys commented on, and what that was the best class in World of Warcraft out of all time, of all history and stuff like that. There were a lot of comments in. We picked like everything we could find and match our question, our topic, because there was a lot of debating over there. And at the end of the video, we'll launch up a new topic for you guys to comment on, and you'll be featured in the next video. So, without further ado, let's get it on.
Let's see the first one. First one is from Nonus. All right, guy, listen.
Your name.
I'm gonna say it, and it's gonna be your name. Doesn't matter. Nonus Businesses.
Okay.
All right, we love you, man. Also, just for the sake of your question, because he had a bigger comment, we're just taking the class.
Yeah, the class thing.
The answer to the question. Also, just for the sake of your question, Guardian Druid. Been playing it for 10 years. BFA is the first expansion that forced me to change my spec. Well, friend, I love you that you love Druid, and I love you that you love Guardian. I feel you, man, and I kind of know why you're kind of changing from Guardian and BFA. The class has been dumbed down. Guardian kind of feels like the Havoc of tanks.
Really?
There's very little thing to do. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun. It's strong. It has some utility because all druids do have utility, but it doesn't feel like you have high skill cap when you can practice and it can be rewarded for a more smart play when it comes to Guardian as opposed to other tanks. So I feel you, man. But yeah, being a big bad bear. Oh.
I don't know, I haven't played Guardian Druid ever, so I wouldn't know. I just like seeing them. If they tank right, I'm all good with them. So, you know, much respect to you, Nonus. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Julio Fortes. Warrior is the best class. I'm sorry, but they might not be able to heal, but warriors are the first go-to class in my opinion. Okay, I can understand that. We can talk about that. From easy to play to hard to master, warrior will always be my main. I miss gladiator spec from WoD, but I'll survive. Oh, and let's get guns back. I don't know this thing about guns, but I can totally understand where you're coming from, where you say that warriors are easy to start to get into and hard to master. And I think that can really be made a subject of discussion on arms. I love warrior. At some point, Julio, I pondered on, hey, should I keep on playing with my red or should I go to the man's warrior, the guy who like goes down and greedy with it. And I did change for a while for Fury. I think Fury is an amazing spec, really fluid, really satisfying, really rewarding. Traditionally, warriors, like I can see it being like one of the best classes of all time, because warriors traditionally did good in almost every aspect of the game, regardless of expansion. I mean, if they sucked in PvE, they were gods in PvP, and vice versa. And most of the times, they were good in both gameplays.
Yeah,
what you think, fool?
Well, even with the meta, the PvP meta as it is, you still see high-end players playing arms warrior because the toolkit is just there. The toolkit is just made to be played in PvP.
True.
And Fury has always killed amazing in PvE and raids. It kind of started slow at the start of each expansion, but then it got better and better and better at the point where it was one of the top specs for the better part of Eternal Palace, if I remember correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I totally feel, man. Warrior is a staple of any RPG.
Yeah, and the gladiator spec from Warlocks of General. Yeah, that was an interesting thing.
That was so fun.
Why was it so fun though?
Gladiator? Because you did a lot of damage with Gladiator, man. You did more than Fury and Arms, I think.
Get the fuck out!
Yeah, that's why it got nerfed, man. It was doing more damage than Arms and Fury.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks a lot, Julio. Hope to see you in the next one as well. We're gonna put Warrior as a top contender just because it's traditionally been like really good with all the expansions. We'll see how the other comments evolve. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Next one.
Next one is from our boy Outslider, because his actual name was taken, but we love you nonetheless, friends.
From Twitch.
And his comment is, well, for me it's the Warlock, because it's the dark and evil class in the game. Fuck decays. Oh yeah. Plus almost all expansions are good enough. Dude, I totally get you. Warlock has had a strong fantasy since like
Always.
Warcraft 2, man.
Yeah.
So they predate WoW to a big extent. I mean, who doesn't know Cooldown yet? And Resto Druid became the Lich King through Warlock powers.
Yeah, so man. I think World of Warcraft defined really good, the Warlock fantasy. Like compared to even other RPGs, I felt like the Warcraft Warlock is the most defined with the dark arts and rituals and demons and stuff like that. Beautiful. And yeah, fuck decays when you're a discipline priest. I mean, I love decays, but if you're a disc priest, no, fuck decays. I can totally get that.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's right, man. Warlocks were like sort of in a good spot in every expansion. Again, similar story to Warriors here. If at some point a spec didn't perform well in PV, they definitely did in PvP and vice versa. But once again, in the majority of the expansions, Warlocks perform in every aspect of the game. So really good pick here. Could we put it at a top contender?
It definitely has the potential, though.
Okay.
There's a lot of love behind Warlocks.
Putting it there. So we have Warrior and Warlock so far. Okay, well, like at the end, we're just gonna look at all of the love you guys give for different classes. We're gonna just pick a winner out of the classes. Okay. All right, let's see the the next one. It's all freestyle, guys. No goddamn script. Okay, we just read in the comments. So the next one is from Chavi Portanda. Shaman fam. Despite the class design of BFA, Shamans are like all about personality. That's my take on it. Man, Shamans, I can relate to that. I discovered and played Shamans only in Legion, and I thought they were amazing. I thought, like, I started with Resto Druid, and I felt it was like a really complex healer, but really rewarding. I fell in love immediately with it, and then I tried Enhancement, and it really felt similar to Fury Warrior. I mean, there was a lot of button smashing all around, a lot of procs going off and shit. There was huge damage coming from somewhere, and I loved it, man. I loved it. But Shamans also are like iconic, right?
Yeah, yeah. Shamans have been a staple of the game for a very long time. And think about Thrall, man. Thrall and Ner'zhul, like all the magic part of Orcs started with Shamans. That's where Warlocks come from as well. So they're very, very strongly ingrained in the game and in the lore. And I mean, who doesn't love our Orc Jesus? And he's back. And no, yeah, Shaman has a lot of love, a lot of cool stuff. I totally agree with you. And yep, let's take it to the next one. And this guy, Praise. Who's Praise? Oh my God, it's Praise.
Praise is a Twitch subscriber of ours. He like gifted a lot of subs to like the
all of the subs.
Yeah, a lot. I don't know, 10, 15 subs. He's a cool guy. And let's see what he has to say.
Well, Praise says, you guys are wanting exactly what I do with all your points for 9.0. Yes.
Great minds think alike.
The best class for me, well, Fury Warrior right now. It feels brutal and every button press feels impactful. Oh, you know it. In WoW history, has to be TBC enhancement. Oh shit, 180! My first love. The class fantasy just spoke to me, and those Wind Fury procs. Dude, I totally get you.
I don't know about those Wind Fury procs.
Wind Fury was crazy in TBC and Classic. Classic kind of had like, you didn't do anything until you Wind Fury, and when you Wind Fury, everything died. That's kind of how it was.
Okay.
TBC got dual wield for enhancement shamans, which was new and weird and was fun, and oh my God, the Wind Fury procs all over the screen, that was really cool. And it's kind of started to die down since then, but I know what you mean, man. TBC enhancement, oh.
Hey man, but you know, Fury Warrior and Enhancement Shaman, you know, I can feel a connection here.
Yeah.
But what do we pick here? He says Fury Warrior and Shaman, like which?
Well,
it's like the second warrior.
He does say in WoW history, which is kind of like what we asked. And that was his Enhancement Shaman.
Okay, Enhancement Shaman it is, Praise. We put it on the list. Enhancement is taking the lead, guys. What are we doing? Okay, let's move on for the next comment, which is from Brandon McLeod, or I don't know if that's pronounced correctly. You tell me. Druids, hands down. All the specs have been relevant at some point in time. That's true. Resto and Bear are very noob friendly to get into, and tank and healer roles. I don't know, man. I don't know if I agree with you on this one. Like the Resto part, I think Resto is a really in-depth spec, but maybe that's just me. Boomkin and Furl are relatively easy, but offer a good amount of skill cap for really good players, plus the utility. Mob Furl had snapshotting, for example. Boomkin has strengths, AoE silence, Soothe, and Battle Res, and even Resto offers great gameplays to kitty weaving in Mythic Plus. You know all about that shit, so just go off on it.
Well, you did say that you don't really know if Resto Druids are that easy to play. And to be honest, it has a little bit more depth than Discipline and Holy Priest, which are kind of like, you know, the
Holy is easy, man. Holy is like...
Holy Priest, yeah. And I always thought Discipline was complicated, and Discipline has a really interesting spec, but Resto Druids, especially the version that they have now, they have a lot of passives. I mean, you can play them pretty easy, it's not difficult to HOT, but if you really want to play to its full potential, you have to really look at your passives and how the mechanics work. It's fun. Yeah. But Guardian Druid, yeah, it's an easy tank to get to. I would recommend it to anybody starting out to play. And man, Druid is like the Swiss Army knife of the whole specs. The young has everything.
Specs, yeah.
Everything.
And it sounds that Brendan is a Druid main. I think he plays all of them from what he's saying over there. So he must be a fan of the Druid. Do we put Druid on the list though?
I think we did have another Druid before, so it's close to Shaman, I think.
The first common was the Druid. Well, this is the second time we have a Druid.
Yeah.
So
it's really close. It's like fighting with Shamans.
Yeah, Shaman's already like the third with praise or fourth. I don't know, man. I don't know how to count. But thanks for the comment, Brandon. Hope to see you in the next one.
The next guy is CBW Ghost. What's up, Ghost? My favorite class has been Feral Druid.
Well, there you go. There's a Druid.
Right. Druid. Feral Druids for a lot of years, but class overhaul is long overdue. Oh yeah. I feel the constant giving ability then taken away only to get bad later than started in data has been lazy and annoying on the developer part. Well, still I have high hopes for 9.0, so do we. Seems like every second expansion they try to redeem themselves. Feels like that's kind of how it is. We got a lot of stuff in Legion and now we lost them, and hopefully we can get them back to 9.0. But man, Feral has some nice fantasy to it. It has some really interesting mechanics. It feels like Fury, very meaty. You feel like when you break.
I never played it, but
you hear like blood sounds all over when you play. It sounds amazing. Transforming into a big ass tiger, man.
Yeah, I know Feral Druids are among the community favorites because it is a hybrid. It's one of the classes picked early on, and the people carried through it. I just love playing with Ferals. As a Disc Priest, when I was playing jungle, it was always a blast to play with them and also a blast to observe them. Because they're like really mobile, they can like spread the damage with their blitz all over the place, they can like interrupt with a bash and stuff. And it's something really interesting about a class that can shapeshift into a, I don't know, ferocious feline who just, it inspires scare and tremoring in place, and well, not that much today, but
an angry pussy.
An angry pussy. All right, next one is from Puffin Entertainment, One-Handed Gaming. What's that all about, man? The answer you are looking for is Mage. Oh, this is the first Mage on the list.
Oh yeah?
It has never been a bad class and it has often been amazing. That's true, I agree. Personally, I like Hunter and Tanks, but Mages, man, they are the shit. Ever since Molten Core. I can totally get them, and Mages traditionally, like Warriors and Warlocks to an extent, were super good in all of expansions within all ranges of the gameplay. PvE gods, PvP gods. I mean, starting off for Classic, I've seen a lot of streams recently with people, even in Eternal Palace, you've seen those teams with like 7 fire mages and stuff.
Oh yeah,
like Mythic.
Jesus, what was that about?
Yeah, I mean, I can say I love playing my mage, especially my fire. That's like exquisite gameplay. It was much better in Warlords of Draenor, and fire I think was the best in Cataclysm. Frost was great all around. I cannot remember a time where Frost didn't perform in any aspect of the game. I don't know.
Those slows, roots, yeah.
It's beautiful. Arcane though.
Arcane
Legion was okay, but
needs a lot of love, yeah.
Yeah, but I can definitely see it. Although I don't see it as a contender because not a lot of people commented on it. So we're basing all of this shit on you guys, on our community,
on the popularity. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can definitely see where you're standing with the mage. I can vote for it, but we'll just have to see how this all ends up. All right.
All right, and going to the next one, we have a comment from our boy Sliced. What's up, Sliced? He says, awesome talk, guys. It was fun to listen to in the background. Kind of podcasty stuff going on. Yeah, that's
one of the
nice.
purposes. Yeah,
that's what we're aiming for. Also, that Legion footage. You know it. Question-wise, it's tough. I've mainly played Warrior and Hunter, but with all this shitty class balance reworks, I have the need to switch class every damn patch. Oh, I know how that feels, man.
You do.
Or, just not play. Yikes. Alright, yeah, we can get you, but we gotta get you back in the game, man. We need to play.
Get your ass over here, son.
We need to get those ratings. But Hunter always felt good, even so more in Classic. pet training, min range on a ranged weapon, needing to feed your pet, etc., etc. It's the small things.
They have this Tamagotchi thing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it was really cool. It felt like you were really getting involved with your pet, and it mattered how much effort you put into your pet and how much love. Like, we all need a little bit more love. But yeah, Hunter had a lot of utility and a lot of little intricate things, some of which were not that popular, which is probably why they were stripped away. But I can totally feel your Hunter, man.
I can definitely see Hunter. I know Hunter is also a really huge favorite. At some point, he was the most played class in the game.
Yeah, no.
You know? So it could be a good contender for our list here. The best class in World of Warcraft. We'll just have to see, Sliced.
Yep.
Thanks for the comment, dude. To the next one, David Henderson would have to be Druid. How do you know?
Another
This
Druid.
the fourth Druid. Has always had a place in rank PvP and high in rating. Yes, I can't even stand playing my Druid anymore. I play Paladin Warrior, but most consistent class goes to Druid in my opinion. Okay, so this is the fourth Druid. Now you are right. When it comes to Druids, they always had a place in all aspects of the game. If something like right now, Feral isn't doing that good in PvP, but you have Resto, who is like still the meta healer, hands down. Okay. Back in Legion, I remember, Resto wasn't the meta healer. It was at some point Monk, then at some point Holy Paladin. At this Priest, of course, they had the top of the game for a long time, but then you had the Feral, who was really good in PvP. PV-wise, we had the Boomkins. I mean, Boomkins did good all around.
Top DPSers.
What are we talking about? So, I think right now, Druid, with David's comment right now, Druid takes the cake. Druid at this point is the #1 class in World of Warcraft all time. And also we have Jam 34786, which I think what does that mean?
He's backing David up. He said, agreed, Druid's been solid since TBC. Oh, we remember TBC as Druids when Guardian actually became more popular, and Feral as well in general, because you know Feral and Guardian were both the same spec at the time.
Oh, I don't know anybody that shit, but I'm trying to make out his name. Jam. Is that sort of eat me something?
I don't know. It's 34786. It seems pretty random to me.
Okay, moving on. Thanks for the comments, guys. Hope to see you in the next one also. Okay.
And moving on to the next one, an affinity for karma. And if this is Jacob, dude,
is Jacob?
I think I know. He has his karma name both on stream and in the game, right?
Could be, but you know it's like AAFK, so some AFK.
Could be.
Okay, let's see what he has
I think I know where this is going. So let's see. The best class for Warcraft for me, Oh, I know. Jacob love is Shaman, man. The lore, how integrated into the storyline they are, the playstyle. The variety in playstyles is the only class I cannot get bored of. I love them so much. Dude, I totally get you, man.
Shaman.
Resto Shamans have 2 to 3 different playstyles, different approaches. Enhancement has about 2. Elemental has 2 as well. So the variety is there, the utility is there, and let's not talk about the lore, man. I mean, think about it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we already talked about this.
The thing is, we haven't touched upon this, and I never really thought about it like that, because I only play like this. But Shamans do have a lot of intricate and different playstyles. Yeah. And I know, now I remember, like when you did the Resto Shaman guide, then you did a Resto Shaman DPS guide, which blew my mind when you told me about it. It's like, hey man, there's also a DPS route for this shit.
Yeah.
Like literally do some damage and not neglectable. I don't know, it feels like, although Shaman doesn't have like the spotlight all the time, I know Elemental was like the king in 8.1.
It still is now. It's one of the top 3-4 DPSers in the raid.
Interesting, because I know traditionally Shamans were not always like up there. You always had to talk about mages or warlocks or rogues or whatever. So I can root for the Shamans 100%. We'll just see. Jacob, if that is you, just write in the comments, because we're feeling like we don't know people. Okay, the next one is from Nsum, and what the fuck do you know, Shaman? The utility has brought to the game since vanilla is very unique. I'm seeing folks rolling Shaman in Classic just to give warriors Wind Fury Totem. Really? That's your purpose?
That is, unfortunately.
Shamans now, Resto, can come through in very clutch situations. I became a Shaman main recently during Uldir due to the Spirit Totem cheese mechanics during the Mother encounter. I don't know, maybe I didn't raid over there. I am very in love with this class, me too in a way. Be able to hex, AoE stun, prevent fears, slow enemies, Earth Elemental for tanking, and the only healer that has an interrupt for Mythic Plus. You goddamn right! We didn't touch upon this. It is! Like, what other healer can do that? No. Oh, and elemental enhancement is a thing too. Well, as we talked about earlier, we had elemental to be the king in 8.1. Frame here says he's still the king in 8.2 also. Enhancement, like I only saw this expansion like when you played it on stream and stuff, and it feels really good. It just delivered the damage.
Oh, yeah, it's still there.
Yeah, you talked about the effects and the sounds, also really rewarding.
Those thunders and crackles.
Yeah, the things that you like listed over there, the hex, the stuns, the interrupt, all of that. It's beautiful. I don't know any healer who can deliver that much.
No, it's kind of like a mage.
Yeah.
Blended with a healer. And yeah, I'm not sure about having a bad time. All healers were pretty much good at all points, and when you take a healer in a group, you really are taking the healer for the utility. It's good to have the throughput, but Blizzard has been doing an okay-ish job at balancing the specs. They're not always at the very top, but still good enough to clear Mythic, so yeah.
Well, it's just hope those pugs get you in when you're trying to apply with a Shaman.
Those communities.
Okay, let's move on to the next one.
Alright, the next one is from Kerathan on Hunt.
Kerathan!
Our boy Kerathan, who's been a fan of the channel for years, right?
Yeah, well, he's one of the OGs who used to play Red Paladins, and he switched to Hunter. He did a good persona, got Gladiator and shit.
Oh.
Yeah, and we know each other for a long time. So
well, let's see what his class is.
Oh.
And my favorite class, you guys know what it is. Oh, we know, Survival Hunter. Yep, yeah, I really miss Legion Survival Hunter. It was kind of a cluster beep, but it was nice. Passive mechanism like Waylay, which was absolutely brilliant. When your trap was landed for a 2 second plus, it had additional special effect. Freezing, for example, acted like a stun, and no DR was stun. Whoo! Anyway, awesome video, guys. Thank you very much, Kirthan, and well, another vote for the Hunter.
It's another vote for the Hunter, though. I think it's the third. I think Shaman and Druid are on the lead right now.
They're still there.
What do you know? Hybrids, right? But I can totally get where Kerathan is coming from. It's like I've discovered again in Legion the Survival Hunter, and it was amazing up until that
Melee
point.
Hunter.
Yeah, and I played with Survival Hunters up until that point in MOP, not in MOP. In MOP, I played with Marksman, but in WoD. That's when that was the first expansion where survivors really got into their own. You could play marksman as well or DM, but survival was also super viable. And after that, in Legion, I discovered it. It was amazing. I still feel it's amazing. It has we talked about this. It's the Swiss Army knife of in PvP, because it has a lot of utility, a lot of tools, especially within the PvP talents. There's always something you can choose depending on what you're going to fight. And also, PvE wise, wasn't survival at some point the number one?
It was doing very high damage or things like that, and I think for the first couple of weeks of Eternal Palace they were like number 1 DPS on certain bosses.
Well, see, there you go. And they didn't have the best time on 8.1 PvE was, right?
No.
Yeah, so they were number 1 for and I think they're still viable in raiding also.
Yeah.
If we go back, it is the biggest comment. With this, I think we can conclude. Based on your comments and the vibe we're getting within the streams and the other comments on the videos and the recent Elemental guide. I mean, we made an Elemental guide and people are, when you're gonna do enhancement.
Yeah, there's
enhancement.
Around half the comments seem to be about enhancement.
So can we conclude like Shaman is the best?
I think there's no denying it. In Shaman seems to have the most love out of the community in general, and it's really fun. I mean, hybrids have always had a rough road ahead. And we all feel for our enhancement boys.
Oh, okay. Well, Shaman it is. Shaman is the best class in World of Warcraft.
Win Furies.
Yeah. Okay. Now, for the next video where you guys will post your comments in and we'll debate on that, which is the best raid in World of Warcraft history. We talked about the best class, now let's talk about the best raid. Now, I will tell you, my experience in this is a bit smaller, but I can say this. As I only started doing PvE stuff and raiding specifically in Battle for Azeroth, and I went back into other raids to see how they were, I can tell you from this point here, my favorite raid of all time and the best raid in World of Warcraft is the Eternal Palace. There you go, I said it, changed my mind. Ha!
Well, to be fair, man, Eternal Palace is a very good raid, and in terms of quality and design, the raids always get better and better with each expansion. I mean, fuck the expansion as much as they want. Blizzard always tends to deliver really good raids.
Their raid game is on
When I was thinking about this, I was thinking like, I like the new mechanics, I like the encounters, the feel, the music, the artwork and everything.
Yeah.
What is the best raid? But for me, I mean, I cannot not be involved emotionally. And the biggest raid that was the most overwhelming for me was Black Temple. It was very iconic for me.
Yeah.
Classic had some okay raids. I love Ragnaros. Ragnaros is like the go-to boss whenever I think of bosses. But going into Black Temple, into Illidan, after working so hard through all of the TBC content, felt like, oh my god, we're finally here. We're finally doing it.
Definitely a fan favorite, Black Temple. I can already see a lot of comments, you know, backing up this.
Oh yeah?
But hey man, I believe the best raid in WoW is Eternal Palace. You believe it's Black Temple? That's not important though. What do you believe is the best raid in World of Warcraft? Just throw it in the comments, and in the next video we'll debate based on your ideas. This is how you get featured within the video. And also salute all of our patrons who keep on supporting all of this content. Don't you forget, we have 2 guides per week. We have the WoW Talks on Monday, we have the On Cooldown show on Friday, plus the streams. We salute all of our Twitch subs as well. There's also a lot of love coming from that side. And if you're interested in supporting this stuff, just, you know, check out the details. We have a Patreon link over there. We also have a Teespring link with a lot of like MarcelianOnline merch. You can see like Flame Marino here. You know, look at that beautiful writing and all of the weaponry, all of that. And that being said, we want to thank you very much for watching,
and see you in the next one.
Bye bye.